Hey, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Year of the Batman. Very excited about today's episode. It is Batman Return of the Caped Crusaders, and this is just through and through a love letter to the 1960s show. And it definitely shows. They got Adam West to return, Burt Ward to return, and Julie Newmar to all reprise their roles as their respected characters. Um, who they got for Alfred, Aunt Harriet, Joker, Penguin, and the Riddler? They had to recast. They did use the old Riddler voice from like the Arkham series and like the Lego video game, so it's a familiar Riddler, but he tries his best to sound like Frank Gorshin, and he does an excellent job at it, I will say. So anyway, going right into it, it starts off Bruce and Dick. They're just enjoying their nice little evening at home, and they're about to watch Gotham Palace, which is like a famous TV show, and they're watching it. And the host brings like a band on, and it turns out it's actually Catwoman, Penguin, Joker, and Riddler all in disguise, and they leave a bomb uh, to like take care of some citizens that were. It was weird. The citizens of Gotham actually tried to do something. They're like, "Quick, gang, let's get them before the cops or so the cops can get here." And I'm like, "What? Since fucking when did the Gotham citizens do anything except for the hippies that one episode?" So the Gotham citizens are going after him, and then Joker shoots him with like a confetti gun to wrap them all up in ribbons and whatnot. And Riddler leaves a bomb, but the bomb explodes to leave a riddle. So naturally, Batman and Robin are called in, and they take a look at the clue, and it leads them just these mental gymnastics with the clue. It's kind of hilarious. I don't want to explain it all because it's a lot. Um, but it leads them to this replica gun, which they're in the midst of stealing. But Batman and Robin show up, a fight breaks out, and then they're doing a getaway chase. Oh, wait, before that, though, it is really funny. I will say there was one joke during like their fight. Penguin knocks like Batman right in the head with his umbrella, and he's looking at Catwoman, and then he sees three Catwomen, but one's Julie Newmar, one's Miss Mayweather, and one's Eartha Kitt. And I was just like, that's funny. Okay, that's a funny joke right there. There's a lot of like really cute, um, like trying to think of a word references, I guess. Uh, oh, for example, real quick, pause on that. The opening credits, it's so cute because it's going through each appearance of the comics, like kind of like a montage of it. So it shows Batman's first appearance, Riddler, Robin's, all them, and they're having like these wacky antics. I love when movies have fun with the opening credits, and they definitely did have fun with this one. It was very nice. So anyway, back to it. So a fight breaks out. The bad guys they take the duplicating ray, and a chase ensues in the Joker mobile, and really smart on Riddler, but he like zaps a pothole, and he like starts replicating potholes all over the place until he eventually like replicates like one straight line, so he just makes a trench. And I'm just like, that's not replicating a pothole. That's like replicating something means creating more matter, and he's just like taking it away. I don't know. It's just goofy and dumb, and I'm all for it. So anyway, they escape, and then Batman and Robin they're searching all over Gotham for Joker, Penguin, and Catwoman, and they can't seem to find him. What's no? Hold on. They I skipped ahead. Before they escape, they leave a note, and it's just a tinfoil to represent that they've been foiled. So it's kind of like the Joker's way of saying "screw you." So they take that foil to the Bat Analyzer, which leads them to their hideout. So and it's a hideout of like a rundown frozen TV dinner factory. So before they show up, Catwoman's like, "Hey, I've got this like batnip, which should turn Batman evil, and he'd be on our side." And they're like, "Yeah, but like, how many fucking times has that been tried and failed?" And she's like, "Well, I'm doing it, so fuck you, okay?" And they're like, "Jesus Christ, okay, fine, try it. Who cares? Jesus." So a fight breaks out, and Batman and Robin they get captured, and then they're tied up to a tray of like a TV dinner, and the thing's like the size of like two flatbed truck beds. So I mean, it's a big damn tray with like imagine potatoes, like just the or I don't know, a big ass tray for TV dinners. It's not that important. So they're placed on that, and they're on a conveyor belt to go into a giant ass oven like the size of a house. And before that, she puts some catnip on Batman, but he resists, and they're like, "Well, damn, I guess that didn't go well because he had like such a strong moral fiber." So like, okay, well, let's just kill him, be done with it. So they hook him up, and then obviously they all gotta go because God forbid they watch him die. So Batman, thinking on his feet, he puts his because he's like all bound and tethered. He puts his cuffs into the lemon tart because I mean it's this giant ass thing of lemon tart. So he wants to use the acidic content to melt his ropes, which he does, and he gets out of there and saves Robin just before they get cooked. So fun little death trap and escape. Like they usually do in the show, so I really like that. So then now it gets to this part. They're looking all over um, for Catwoman, Joker, Riddler, Penguin, all over the place. Can't seem to find them. They're looking in the bay, downtown, uptown. Doesn't matter. And then Batman, he's like, "Ah, oh, man, it just occurred to me. It's Occam's Razor. They've either gone straight and just completely stopped doing crime, or they're in space. And then being in space is the most logical reason." And I'm like, bro, you checked one city and your second option is space. Why not the next town over? Um, so it turns out they actually are in space. It's this like it's the space station that was designed for um some made up country. Once again, you got to have a made up country in this thing, and the U.S., but they like separated, so it's not really in use anymore. But it's weird. They hitched a hike, like Joker, Penguin, Count. They hitched a hike on a space shuttle that was going there. So I'm like, who the hell was going there? Like it was. They literally said it was abandoned. So who the hell were the two guys launching there? Um, while that's happening, Batman he sees Chief O'Hara, police commissioner. They're watching TV about like the launch that they were just talking about going on, and he chastises them for pretty good. He gives them a good little talking to about that about how they're like wasting taxpayer money and whatnot. So they get home, and Aunt Harriet almost discovers the uh, William Shakespeare bus that like opens up to the Batcave, and he gets on Alfred for it, and he fires them. And Dick's like, "What the heck, dude? I mean, she didn't find out. Like, don't you think you're being a little extreme?" And Bruce is like, "Nah, it's fine. He's fine." So Bruce is like kind of being more so of a dick than well ever really. But anyway, they get in the Bat Rocket and they go up into space. And during that time, Joker, Penguin, and Riddler, they're all talking and they're wanting to kick Catwoman out of the club because she's too soft on Batman. So they launch her into space, and just as like she's like flying out, Batman he like in his spacesuit like grabs her, and they um, go back into the pod where she was launched. And I'm just like, I'm almost positive you're dead. Like she was out in the vacuum of space for probably like a good 20 seconds. Like there's no getting back from that. But she's fine, and So the three of them, they go to confront Joker, Penguin, and Riddler, and Batman's like, "Hey, I'm gonna kill you because we're outside the jurisdiction of Gotham City, so I'm gonna do this my way." So they're like, "Oh shit, we don't like that." So they turn on the anti gravity, and like they're all floating and having a fight, and it's a really creative scene. But I won't go too into it just because, I mean, what more can you describe? It's just anti gravity and them fighting. So Batman, he throws a batarang and turns the anti gravity off, and he whips out these like bat knuckles, and he just starts like beating the shit out of Riddler, Joker, and Penguin. I mean, no mercy. Which I will say, with this being like animated, they can actually connect punches in this movie instead of like the 1960s. You can obviously tell nobody's getting hit, but in this one, it's very neat to see Batman actually punching people and like seeing it connect properly. But I mean, he was just going to town on these guys. And Robin's like, Batman, are they okay? And then Batman's like, they may walk with a limp for the rest of their lives, but other than that, they're fine. I'm like, Jesus Christ, dude. So, anyway, they're sent back to prison, and Catwoman escapes in an escape pod before everything's all wrapped up. So, they get back to Earth, and they're talking to Police Commissioner Gordon and Chief O'Hara, and Batman's like, I'm going to keep this ray gun to myself because this thing cannot be trusted to the likes of people. Oh, the original plan for Batman, Joker, and Penguin, they wanted to clone Gotham City 3 times so they could each rule their own city. Which I'm just like, where the fuck are you going to put the other 2 cities? I'm not like it's stupid. It's good stupid. I love it. So anyway, the ray guns return back, and Batman and Robin are chilling at home, and Aunt Harriet, she's saying something to Batman, and Batman, well, I guess Bruce, he goes off on her, calling her a silly old woman, and to the point where like Aunt Harriet cries, and Dick's like, dude, what is going on with you? You're being a dick. You fired Alfred. You didn't even check on him. And Bruce is like, you know what? Yeah, why don't you check on him? And he throws him out of the house. And you see it cuts to Alfred. He's like a bum going like on Skid Row, just like searching for stuff. Um, but yeah, so then it cuts to Batman taking some time off because this kind of irritated me. There was like a shopping spree crime, and Chief O'Hara's like, "Oh, we need to call Batman," and I'm like, "Jesus Christ! I thought fucking supervillains were you guys' kryptonite. Now it's just everyday cut of the jib crimes." So Batman, he takes some time off, and crime just piles and piles and piles up in Gotham City, and he finally comes back to Police Commissioner Gordon and Chief O'Hara, and he's like, I've taken like 3 fucking days off, and this city is gone to the shitter. Okay, enough's enough. So he comes in, and he like takes the duplicator gun, and he points it at himself, and he shoots it, and he has a Batman that's the new police commissioner, a Batman that's the new chief, a Batman that's the new mayor. Essentially, any important role is being filled with Batman. So Robin, he finally figures out, he's like, no way. The Batnip freaking worked. It was just slowly but surely. So he goes to Catwoman to find an antidote, and she's like, yeah, I got an antidote. So they go to the Catmobile, and Robin drives and knocks her out with bat gas so they can go to the Batcave. And as soon as they get there, Batman's there waiting for them, and he goes ahead and captures Batwoman and Robin. But before that, they have like a utility belt off, which is kind of cute. It's only like 20 seconds, but it's still funny because they have bat wake up gas, bat knockout gas, bat bomb, bat shield, stuff like that. It's cute. So Batman, he captures both of them, and then he plans to lower them into the nuclear reactor of the Batcave. And he does that, and just as he's leaving, they go in, and they're saved because Robin put on some like anti isotope formula on both Catwoman and Batman, and and himself before like the confrontation because he figured, yeah, we're probably gonna lose this fight. So then this is probably my favorite part in the movie. So there's like hundreds of Batman like with the bad guy kind of mentality, like strong grip on justice all throughout the city. And their next plan is to go to Gotham Penitentiary to find people who would, take on Batman. So they go there in the guise of like prison inspectors, and they give new pickaxes, new like ball and chains, new care packages to all these characters. And you see Louis the Lilac, the Mad Hatter, King Tut, Cassandra, like all these fucking bookworms there. That pissed me right off. Having a good time with this episode, then I see his nerdy ass. I'm like, damn it, why is he here? Fuck. But anyway, they break all the people out because like the pickaxes, they're like little helicopters. They shoot them out, and then the ball and chains are made of helium, so it like explodes and drags everybody out. So everybody's there, or all the villains are broken out except for Joker, Penguin, and the Riddler, and they just like kind of devolve into sand, which you're like, what the hell happened there? Which it'll explain later. So there's now a showdown because Batman, he is now the leader or the host of the Gotham Palace, and he's like going full supervillain at this point because he's hooked up to every TV station or every TV set in Gotham. If you change the channel or turn it off, the TV explodes because he wants all the attention on him. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, Batman, you're more of a villain than the villains. So Catwoman and Robin and all the villains show up, and a showdown commences. You have Eggman throwing eggs. You have King Tut. Fucking King Tut took out like 4 Batman before he got taken down. I was surprised with that. I was like, damn, King Tut, you fucking go. I will say, one of the most cathartic moments in a whole episode was seeing Bookworm's face get bashed in with Batman. Oh my god, I loved it so much. Just full-on connection. Boom! Knocks his ass out. Oh, I loved it. Loved it, loved it. You see, like, Mr. Freeze freezing Batman, and Batman using, like, a heat cape and knocking his ass out. Like, it just a good fight. There was one scene where one of the Batman gives Louis the Lilac a bouquet of lilacs, and he's going to smell it, and then boom comes his fist through the flowers. Oh, it's fun. So all the Batman win, and some random guy comes, hey, in honor of your taken over ship, here's some wine to celebrate. And he drinks it, and he turns right back. Turns out that was Alfred that delivered the antidote to him, because Catwoman, he gave Batman the antidote when they first saw him, but it didn't work because Batman took an antidote, and then what Alfred gave him was like an antidote. Very convoluted, very dumb, very funny. So all the other Batman, they're converging on the original and Catwoman and Robin, when all of a sudden they all turn to dust. And Batman's like, oh my god, this whole time the replicator was unstable, which means that wasn't the original plan. The Joker, Riddler, and Penguin, they weren't going to clone Gotham City. This was all a distraction. And I'm like, get the fuck out of here. But it was all a distraction. And it goes to the next scene. Penguin stealing this priceless Fabergé egg, Riddler stealing the world's first riddle, and then Joker, he steals the sad clown painting, and he's like, well, it'll be rich once I kill the maker. And so Batman, Catwoman, and Robin show up, and they're about to fight, but they escape on like a flying umbrella, which is a fun callback to a previous Penguin episode. So they're now chasing them in their bat whirlies. It's essentially just a seat with like a little helicopter on top, and they're chasing after a blimp which has rockets, but they knock the rockets out with some exploding batarangs, and a fight takes place on the blimp with like all the thugs, and Batman, Catwoman, Robin, Joker, Penguin, Riddler, Joker, Riddler, he gets knocked out after the thugs. It's thugs first, they get knocked out. Then Riddler, he gets thrown off. He lands in a dress that's like being hung by clothespins, and he lands smack on the hood of a policeman car. I'm just like, yeah, no, he's dead. He fell several stories and landed smack on a car. He is dead. Penguin, he gets knocked off, falls into a tub of fish, funny stuff. Joker, he might have had the worst of it. He purposely like fell and he falls through a circus, got caught through a trapeze act, gets thrown into a cannon. The cannon shoots him into a bear. Then he's like, it was a bear like walking on a ball. He knocks the bear off. Now he's walking on the ball, and a herd of elephants run him over. And then a clown car full of policemen run him over again, or hit him, and then he gets like put on top of the roof. I'm like, God damn, he's dead 5 times. And then Catwoman, she's like, "Oh, Batman, why don't you and I just run away together?" Because she has like the goods now, and he's like, "No, we're not doing that." And I guess they hit turbulence or something because she like they hit a bump, and then she drops her goods, and then Robin's holding them, and then they're going over like some kind of factory, and then she falls down into like a chimney. So that is the third time we've seen Catwoman almost get captured, and then she's like, "I'd rather die than go to prison." And I'm like, "Okay, now you had to be on like your fifth life or a third life left. Come on, Catwoman, what's going on?" And yeah, that about does it. Like I said, this was just a through and through love letter to the 1960s show. Kind of disappointed Batgirl wasn't in it, but at the same time, she was only in one season versus Batman and Robin all 3 seasons. But really good stuff. This was the superior version to the Batman movie, like without a doubt. Granted, there's some scenes in the Batman movie, absolute classic, like him getting rid of the bomb, the bat shark repellent. That stuff's gold. But this was just overall more so of a good time. Rating wise, probably a solid 6 out of 7. There were some spots here and there that just didn't quite hit the mark, but other than that, phenomenal movie. If you're watching the series and you get to like the original Batman movie, go ahead and just watch some famous clips on YouTube of that, and then just watch Batman Return of the Cape Crusaders, because this is the superior one with like the Catwoman, Joker, Penguin, Riddler movie like that. Go to that one. This one, excellent movie. So yeah, bye.